Year 11. It's now after half term, it's spring 2 and week 1, and hopefully you will be back in school very soon. I think at the minute they're looking in a couple of weeks' time, so hopefully that will be that will happen and we can get out of this online learning. But in the meantime, we are here and we are doing the topic of, well, social issues, so homelessness. We're looking at in particular today. There are 3 lessons this week, and as before, it's been difficult to split the work up really into 3 chunks. So work through at a reasonable pace, spend 40 minutes on each lesson, and by the end of the week, you should have managed to get through all 3 lessons which have been put up online, and it will have evened itself out. Okay, so to start off with, please, just some words which should be familiar to you, but that will trip you up rather in reading papers and listening papers if you are not careful. So a couple of minutes, please, to copy and translate these, please. Make sure you got them both in both languages. And the challenge at the bottom there, how do you say it, as far as I know, which some of you will remember. Okay, so pause the recording, off you go, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I'm assuming you are now moving on. So let's just have a quick look. En general, in general. Desafortunadamente, unfortunately. Afortunadamente is clearly fortunately, so luckily. Por un lado, por otro lado. So if you're introducing your ideas on one hand, on the other hand. El lado, un lado is a side. Al lado de is on the side of or next to. Por desgracia is unfortunately. Desgraciadamente is also a way of saying unfortunately. Hoy en día is nowadays. Or you know is today, but hoy en día is nowadays. Ya que is since. Además, besides. Por ejemplo is for example. Sino is but if you're using it following a negative. So it's not this, but that. Aunque, although. Así que is thus. Or therefore. And I don't know if any of you got this one. How do you say, as far as I know, is que yo sepa, and that's the a present subjunctive that we've seen recently. We're doing some more work on the subjunctive next week. So que yo sepa, as far as I know. Okay, so that's some useful vocabulary. I think there's some more on the next page. There's a lot of vocab in this topic that you need to know, so you can spend some time looking at the Quizlet that I've put up for lesson 3 as well. Okay, homelessness, poverty, charity. I'm going to do 1 photo card, and then you can assess where you are at the end of the week and set yourself targets. Okay, so ¿qué significa sin techo? What does sin techo mean? Let me just move this face out of the way. There you go. Okay, so this sin techo means someone who is homeless, but it won't always be sin techo. You may have different ways of explaining it that it come up in readings. So, es una persona sin techo, una persona en la calle, persona sin domicilio fijo, persona sin domicilio bien establecido, persona sin domicilio permanente, puede ser hombre o mujer, mayor o menor. Okay, so that's a sort of definition of someone who is homeless. So a person without a roof, literally. Sin is without. Techo is a roof on a house. So if you are roofless, if you are homeless. A person in the street. A person without a fixed domicile. You wouldn't normally use that word in English, but again, it's an example of where you've got a higher level English word, which is closer to the Latin and therefore closer to the Spanish, from which they both come. So you've got a person without a fixed abode, or no fixed address is what we say. Persona sin domicilio bien establecido, so a well-established place to live. So if you're sofa surfing or without, you're not in a stable accommodation. Somebody without a permanent home. It can be a man or a woman, older or younger. Okay, so those words there may be used in the reading in paper. So if you don't limit yourself just to understanding sin techo. It could be domicilio, for example. Okay, so that's more vocab. Moving on. Here's some vocab to write down and match up, please. Again, write these out in full and pause the video while you're doing it. Start it up when you're ready. Okay, so voluntario. I don't know if I can move these over. These sometimes work for me, sometimes don't. No, I don't think I can move the actual. Or maybe I can. No, I can't. I hate this thing. Right. Is it going to let me move it? Yeah, there we go. Volunteer is voluntario. Ayudar a los demás. That's to help others. No, I can't. It's going to cause me problems here. Ayudar a los demás is to help others. So to help los demás, the rest is others. Sin derecho. So sin techo is not to have a roof or to be homeless. Sin derecho is no rights, if you have no rights. Sin techo, sin derecho was a slogan they used in some publicity in Spain. Sin techo, sin derecho, if you're roofless, you also, if you're homeless, you also don't have any rights. Trabajar con los sin techo, that's to work with the homeless. Una organización caritativa is a charitable organization. Riqueza is wealth. I forgot there for a second. There we go, at the bottom, wealth. Someone is rico, they're rich, so they have riqueza, they have wealth. Pobreza is poverty. Hambre, hunger. Violación is rape. If you're violated, you've been raped. Derechos humanos is human rights. Can't see it, there it is. All right, so really crucial vocabulary you need to know there. Some ideas if you wanted to put together your opinions, either in a piece of writing or just in a speaking as well, to talk about social problems. So these are all these verbs that have either an A at the end or an N, depending on whether it's more than one thing or a single thing. So it's like me gusta, me gusta, me gustan. All of these work in the same way. Me interesa, me molesta, me preocupa, me parece, me irrita. If it's more than one thing that interests you, you would put an N on the end here. So me interesan las novelas de Thomas Hardy. I'm interested in Thomas Hardy novels or something. Me molesta is one thing. Me molestan would be more than one thing annoys me. So me molesta el ruido, the noise annoys me. Or me molestan las avispas, wasps bother me. Me preocupa, me preocupan. I'm worried about. It preoccupies me. I'm worried about. Me parece importante. It seems important to me. Me irrita. It irritates me. Mi mayor preocupación is my biggest worry is. And here we've got lo que más me preocupa es. Should have an accent on there. Don't know if I can put one on. Let's see if I can. Lo que más me preocupa, what bothers me most is. El mayor problema es, the biggest problem is. Lo peor is the worst. And here we've got some other, it's a pain, it's pain, it's stressful, it's worrying, it's horrible, it's difficult, hard is duro, and es decepcionante. Write that one down because you won't remember that. It means it's disappointing. Okay, so again, all extra vocab. Right, this is going to take you longer. I'm going to make it bigger in a minute so you can see it. And then you can go between the screens if you need to. Now, I've tried to differentiate a bit here because this is quite a challenging reading. And what's really challenging are some of the questions. So on the next slide, I've put all of these questions into English as well. So if you want to, you can use the questions in English to help you, or you can work out what they are in Spanish. You need to answer, you need to read through the three texts. You need to work out what the answers are. First of all, are the above opinions positive, negative, or both? Then answer the questions in your book, and then find these phrases in Spanish in the text. So unfortunately, I can tell you is por desgracia. You saw that on a previous slide. Okay, so write these down and then find the Spanish equivalents in the text. So 3 tasks to do on that. This is going to take you some time. Now, a couple of things. Here are the questions. So you're going to have to go backwards and forwards through this video a little bit to sort of look at what you want to look at. If you don't want to look at that, that's fine. Go back to this one here and just use the Spanish questions. Here, I'm going to make it bigger so you can see the texts more easily. I can't show you all of the text and all of the questions, unfortunately. So here's the bigger version of the text. Previously, you had the questions just in Spanish, and then you had the questions in Spanish and English as well. So if you can move between these, the parts of the video that help you, and when you are ready, we will correct it. But if you can work on that, please, first, and then pause the video to work on it, and I will see you when you finished it. Okay, so let's have a quick look here. What has happened to Anna? Well, first of all, it was, are they positive, negative, or both? Now, the first one, she's talking about, there's some very negative stuff here. She's on her own, she's lost her job, and she needs help. She went to, she's been told to go to the food bank, but she's embarrassed, so she doesn't want to go. So it's positive and negative, or maybe it's just all negative, to be honest. Although the help is there, she doesn't want it, so it's all very negative. The middle one, he started a job working with, or volunteering work with the homeless, and was quite worried at the beginning because he was a bit scared of the clients there, but he realized they're just normal people. So now he's more understanding, so that's positive and negative. The last one is all about somebody's mother-in-law who is an old people's home. She gets all the help she needs. There are no problems. He's saying that there is a reputation of some old people's homes that they treat old people badly, but he thinks it's just the newspapers that report just a few extreme cases. They've been very happy with his mother-in-law's care, so that's all positive. Okay, so let's go through these quickly then. So what's happened to Anna? She's lost her job, basically. Who's recommended she go to the food bank? And that is the social services. She went to ask for help from social services, and they recommended that she went to a food bank. How much does the food bank food cost? Sounds odd. Yeah, the food bank cost. It's gratuita, it's free. Why doesn't she want to go to the food bank? Porque me da mucha vergüenza. She's really embarrassed. She's ashamed, really. She's ashamed. Where does Miguel do his volunteering? At the, where is it? Un comedor social. So it's a social dining hall, literally. So it's a soup kitchen. That's what we would call it. It's a soup kitchen. The next question was, what problem did he have at the beginning? At the beginning, he didn't like it because he was scared of the homeless people there. What changed? What made him change his point of view? Basically, after spending some time, he realized that they were just normal people who basically were down on their luck. So no tuvieron suerte. They were unlucky. And according to him, how should the homeless be helped? Los sin techo necesitan la mano amiga de personas que sepan. So basically, homeless people need a helping hand or a friendly hand from people who know how to listen to them. Then we went on to Raúl, and why is Why is his mother-in-law in the old people's home? Because she has Alzheimer's. Mi suegra tiene síndrome de Alzheimer. What's the problem with residential homes? The problem is that they have a very bad reputation. Tienen muy mala fama. That's the end of that one, actually. They have a very, very bad reputation, and he thinks that is to blame. You have to blame the newspapers for that, who always give extreme cases of bad maltreatment, or where people have been treated badly. Okay, so finding the words in Spanish in the text. Unfortunately was por desgracia, which is here. I have lost. Acabo de perder mi empleo. I've just lost. Ask for help. Pedir la ayuda. Free food. Comida gratuita. Shame is vergüenza. The outskirts, that's here, las afueras. I was scared. Tenía miedo. So that's the imperfect tense of the verb tener. Tener miedo is to be scared. I was scared. Tenía miedo. A while. Un rato here. After spending a while chatting with them. Un rato. I realized. Me di cuenta. So that's the verb dar in the preterite. Darse cuenta is to realize, and you put it into the preterite here. Me di cuenta, reflexive verb. A helping hand, la mano amiga. They call it a friendly hand, we call it a helping hand. Medical support is el apoyo médico. We're in this one here now. They have a very bad reputation. Tienen muy mala fama. Newspapers, los periódicos. Cases of abuse, casos de maltrato. Nurses take care of my mother-in-law. Las enfermeras cuidan a mi suegra. It's got an a there because you cuidar a someone. And grateful is this one here, agradecidos. Okay. Now, if you have now got up to 40 minutes, you may have gone beyond it, you may not have got this far, but if you have used the 40 minutes for your lesson, that's absolutely fine. If you have more time, then you can write some answers to this photo card. I know you're not going to be doing a photo card, but it's useful to think about how you would describe a picture if you had to write about it. So we've got a homeless person begging, and the questions you would be asked on that are: ¿Qué hay en la foto? ¿Qué piensas de la pobreza en tu ciudad? ¿Cuáles son las ayudas o organizaciones disponibles para los sin techo o los pobres en tu ciudad o tu país? So if you have time here, can you please think about what you would write in answer to those questions? What's in the photo? What do you think about poverty in your city? Which are the helps, if you like, or what is the help and organizations available, disponibles, for those without, for the homeless or poor people in your city or your country? Okay, so if you have some time to work on this, please do. And I will go through some possible answers in a minute. If you've run out of time, don't panic. Carry this forward to the next lesson when you may want to pick it up then. Okay, so pause, have a go at this, and I will look at some possible answers in a moment. Okay, so hopefully if you had some time to do that, let's have a look. So the first one was, ¿Qué hay en la foto? Now, I haven't done anything other than say, en la foto hay. You could have, en la foto hay un hombre sin techo. Está pidiendo, maybe, el dinero. Next one, you could have, ¿Qué piensas de la pobreza en tu ciudad? I mean, you might want to say, en mi ciudad creo que no hay tanta pobreza. In my city, I think there isn't so much poverty. Pero sé que hay un banco de alimento. I know there is a food bank. And then you may well go on to say other things. ¿Cuáles son las ayudas o organizaciones disponibles para los sin techo o los pobres? Creo que hay. I think that there are organizaciones tal como. Just wanted to point out that such as. I think there are organizations such as Homestart en mi pueblo. And then también, and you go on and think of other things. So I just think about how you would, if you were faced with answering some questions on homelessness, how you would start putting your ideas together. Okay, and I'll give you more help on that later. All right, thank you very much indeed. That is more than enough for one lesson. If you're already in lesson 2, then carry on. If not, then I will see you in the next lesson. Gracias.